Hello and good evening. My name is Jesse Rainz, and I take no joy in the story that I bring you tonight. The popular toy photography and collectors podcast, DC Figures and Collectibles, is no more. That being the news coming from the creators and the hosts, Scott P. and Tyler G. There will be no more new episodes under the DC Figures and Collectibles name. A few months back, the podcast celebrated its 1-year anniversary, also passing 1,000 followers on its Instagram for the second time due to one profile being hacked. Also in that 1 year, they were able to get a great amount of guests of a very high quality, setting the standard for what people could expect week to week and what they could look forward to. For example, some of the guests included Brian Volk Weiss, who was the creator of The Toys That Made Us and its spin-off show, The Movies That Made Us, as well as many other comedy specials, including ones with Dave Chappelle and all the top tier comedy. They had on Kwame, who was an iconic rapper, especially in the early 90s for his music, and now for a producer and his writing credits for people such as Eminem and Rihanna. They had on a Mattel toy designer named Jason, who started out as just a mail boy and worked his way all the way up to helping design some of the last waves of DC Multiverse. They had on the creator of the Extreme Sets diorama sets, Joe. They had on Cult of the Bat, who was a big Instagram Batman page on Instagram. They had on a prop designer and action figure custom maker for the show The Boys on Amazon Prime. They had on many photographers, many collectors, and they did all this in about a year's time. And it would have been nice to see what else they did, but again, they are no longer making new shows. We have no answers at this time, no definitive anything. But what we do have is Tyler G coming up very shortly, and he will have hopefully some answers, and he will hopefully be able to shed a light on what happened, why there's no longer DC Figures and Collectibles. Again, this is Jesse Rainz, and I took no joy in bringing you this story. Have a good night. Stay safe. Hello and welcome to the now Tyler G show. As you can see, it's just me, not joined by anyone else. And I'm just gonna get right into, I'm sure, the very topic that everyone is here to see. Why wait? Why string you along? So, let's start at the very beginning. At the very beginning, a few years ago, Scott, myself, and another guy did a podcast called DC Collecticast. And Scott and I joined because we thought it was going to be one thing. And we thought it was going to be, a lot of collectibles and photography and toys. But it started to stray from that. It just wasn't exactly what we wanted to do. So we talked amongst ourselves. And because we still respected the other guy, and because we still wanted to work with him and do the podcast, we decided that we were going to bring what we had, our thoughts beforehand, talk about what we thought that it was going to be, and maybe talk about how we could implement and make it more towards collectibles and that sort of thing. However, he didn't really like that. He basically said F you, screw off, and we did, and we started our own podcast, DC Figures and Collectibles, which was great. We started off, we had so much fun. Every week was a joy. I looked forward to it. Scott at least told me he looked forward to it. And we had some great guests on, some very popular guests, big time guests, Hollywood guests. We did some rappers, some, prop designer and customizer for the boys. And it was a lot of fun. However, somewhere along the way, Scott stopped having fun. Well, I'm just gonna get into I'll get into word for word what he sent to me. So on Saturday in the morning, he sent me a text saying, "Hey Tyler, I've decided that I'm done with the podcast. I quit." And he said, because, I just feel like you get caught up in too many petty arguments as of late, and I don't want to be associated with that. And yada yada yada. I think he said, like, I just gotta go on my own. And I just said, you know what? Because I didn't want to get in an argument. Because his petty argument thing is very hypocritical, especially coming from him. And I just basically said, you know what? If you feel you want to go and that's what makes you happy, that's cool. Like, whatever makes you happy, man. I had a lot of fun because I did. I had a lot of fun. And he tried to say he did too. And then I go and look at his page. He already blocked me. So he blocked me after 2 years of working together and creating a show and having this camaraderie. He blocked me in an instant. Like, that sucks. That sucks so bad. Especially when I get into my next point, because he said, I'm getting into petty arguments with people, and, he might see it that way, but it's very much something that he has voiced to me many a time that he can't stand. And he's told me after we've had guests on, and after they've decided to follow him, he's like, yeah, we had this guest on, and he follows me, but he never likes any of my pictures. Like, I can't believe it. I'm like, really? He doesn't? He's like, no. And that's, oh. And then, like, he's mentioned that multiple times. Like, oh, I don't want this guest back on because, he doesn't support me, and, he doesn't like my photos. And I supported that. I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, I totally understand if I talked to a guy, I met a guy, and I like all his pictures, which, if I follow you, I like all your pictures. Like, that's just the thing, especially if you're having a bad day and you post something that's not that great. I'll still like it because I understand, hey, you're probably having a bad day. It's probably been a struggle. But anyway, I totally had Scott's back on that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? We won't have this guy back on because they don't support you or they don't like your photos. That sounds pretty petty to me. I don't know. What do you think? But yeah, the point is the very thing that he said that, and the main reason too is because I haven't been, as of late, I have unfollowed a lot of people, and that's because of the very thing. Like, I've been following them, I've been liking all their photos, and I noticed that I haven't been receiving any support from them. So if I haven't received any support from you, then yeah, I'm gonna unfollow you. Because why do you need my support if you're not supporting me? And I think because some of the people that I recently unfollowed were his buddies and people that he really likes, like Ahsoka. I don't understand why he likes Ahsoka so much. The guy just does the same picture every time, and to me, it's like, why do people like McFarlane send samples to people like that and reward lack of creativity? Because to me, it doesn't speak of creativity, just lack of creativity. And so that's the reason I unfollowed Ahsoka, because like, I can't support and like this guy when he does the same exact picture over and over. And then there's other people out there creating dioramas and like sweating and bleeding, creating these great things and customs and just doing great pictures. And Ahsoka's literally just putting it on the table, take a picture, put it on the no pose, and you got McFarlane sending him free stuff. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna champion that or enjoy that. And so I think Scott found offense to that. He got his feelings hurt that I don't like the same pages that he likes. And so I think that's why ultimately he doesn't want to work with me anymore, because I don't buy the petty arguments thing, because he lives for not liking people that don't like his stuff or that don't support him. So, and like I said, I've had his back on that. So, I mean, also the fact that he didn't want to talk to me about it, if he did have these reasons, he didn't come to me and be like, hey, look, I've noticed this or I've noticed that and this bothers me and can you explain to me this? The fact that he didn't do that, to me, shows that he had no interest in continuing or wanting to do the show anyway. So, I mean, there's no point. There's no point in me trying to be like, hey, no, let's try to do the show. Like, what's the matter? I think he had already checked out. And that's what's even weirder is because he showed no inclination. Like, he was all gung-ho and like, yeah, I can't wait to do the next show. So that just feels ingenuous. Now I wonder how many times he lied straight to my face. But oh well. I just want that's the reason. That's at least the reasons that I was told on why we aren't going to be working together anymore. But I mean, I hope that you guys stick around because I'm still going to do the same thing. It's just going to be called the Tyler G Show, but still pick up continuing the waves. I think we got Clayface, Harley, and two fire people. The two anti-fire suit and Firefly. So that's the next wave that I'll cover. Compare it and do photos, and we'll do the next BTS episode review, which is Mechanic. And that'll be in the next few days. This is just going to be like a explanation video for what the heck happened, and so you know why the name of the Instagram changed to the Tyler G Show or Tyler G Show. So thank you for listening. Don't feel pity on me or sad. People change, things change. Hopefully this show changes just for the better and continues to improve, and we continue to have fun. Alright? So thank you for enjoying or watching. I'll talk to you soon.